Our next player, Adrian Wilson, moving on with our signing day acquisitions for Coach Prime and the Buffs. Adrian Wilson, also from Texas, Weiss High School in Pflugerville, Texas, 6 foot 170, a top 300 player, kind of a late riser in the process too. I mean, I spoke to my guy, EJ Sanchez, who goes out there and covers all of Adrian's games out there in Texas, and he said sophomore year, he was all skin and bones, but he could jump out of the gym. He expands his route tree his junior year. Now, as a senior, his head coach says, I can throw him a slant, and he's faster than everybody. Mm-hmm. I mean, the highlights speak for themselves here.
Yeah, this is, to me, just top-tier athleticism is what you see from this guy. You don't see it as much on this film. They do a great job of getting the ball in his hands, but if you watch some of that 7-on-7 stuff that he did, I mean, you mentioned that the coach talking about, or EJ talking about him jumping out of the gym. That's the type of stuff you see, the type of, one-handed catches and ridiculous stuff that you see in warm-ups from like a Travis Hunter or, Odell Beckham Jr., just that ridiculous bounce, ridiculous one-handed catch ability, and just ridiculous athleticism all over the board.
Yeah, man, athleticism, to say the least, a lot of athleticism, bro. You jumping out the gym, pairing that with his ability to absolutely fly. I mean, this man ran 11.4 in the 100-meter dash as a freshman. So, big playability is what stands out to me. Taking the slant all the way to the crib, these deep vertical routes, a problem in the red zone as well. I mean, he had over 2,400 yards over the last 3 years of high school, 36 touchdowns over the last 3 years as well. So ultra productive, ultra versatile. This is just a big play waiting to happen. That's who Adrian Wilson is.
And he's a guy, I mean, kind of late in the process comes to Colorado, and as we kind of talked about, a late riser just throughout his high school career. But he's got NFL pedigree. His cousin is Tyree Wilson, who was the 7th overall pick to the Las Vegas Raiders in the 2023 NFL Draft. He, of course, also plays in Texas, so he's battle-tested and he's going to be ready for that pro environment and everything that comes with being a Colorado Buffalo.
Yeah, absolutely. And I have to laugh. I'm going to age myself a little bit here, but I feel like, 10, 12 years ago when I started watching these Colorado commitments and signees on film, you just didn't see athletes like this. Like, I feel like there's been a whole level up in just the caliber of athlete that you see at the high school level right now. And, obviously there's been a huge upgrade in the caliber of athlete that is coming to Colorado. That's another thing is I won't name names because I don't want to disrespect anyone, but I remember watching some of those signees back then, and just the caliber of athlete that is coming to Colorado to play for Coach Prime right now is off the charts, and Adrian Wilson's a great example of that.
I feel like in the past you kind of had to really squint hard to see the talent. I can maybe see something there, but yeah, guys like Adrian Wilson, Quanell Farrakhan, the talent just absolutely jumps off the screen. And Adrian Wilson, another guy like Quanell, very highly sought after. He was previously committed to Oregon, Arizona State, and TCU before ultimately, settling with the Buffs. And, Adrian Wilson told Steve Wiltfong when he committed that Colorado football has the opportunity to go somewhere in the air raid offense and start. So he's obviously excited about having a lot of volume and getting a lot of targets, being able to play in the air raid system, and obviously, hopefully, seeing the field early on.
I mean, his run after the catch ability kind of jumps off the screen here when you watch these highlights. Yeah. This is also a big recruiting win for Colorado. They flipped him from Arizona State, of course, also in the Big 12, but he's going to be a Buff, and we'll see him, catching passes from Julian Lewis here very, very soon as well.
When you talk about run after the catch ability, I mean, how many different guys on Colorado's roster can you say that about? It's just one after another, like Isaiah Harge and the two guys that we just talked about. And you just go on through the list of players that are on this team, Traylon Miller, Cam Michael. And we obviously talk a lot about, bringing in a run game to help Julian Lewis, but also just the quick pass game, which he's going to be great at getting the ball out to these guys, will also really take a lot of pressure off of him.
100%.